Welcome to another week of Marketing 101 for Chiropractors. I'm Dr. Enrico Dolcecore, and we are going to go over the cost of Facebook ads. So, all of you I know have tested Facebook at one point or another. And if you haven't, it is a great way to really get your brand awareness out there. And go back to the old podcast about brand versus marketing. They're two very different things that you have to clear and separate in your mind. Brand versus marketing. And brand is really the flyer, the persona that you give out to your community. It's the logos, it's the colors, it's the sense, it's who you are, really. That's it. It's just answers who. It's the name, that's it. The color, the brand, the logo, the name of your practice. It's who you are. The marketing is what, where, how. That's the marketing. So you have to really separate these two things. So make sure you got your brand on cue. Many of you spend so much time trying to revamp your branding, thinking that you're Nike, trying to change the swoosh a little bit, and maybe you'll grab people's attention, when you don't need to be focusing this much on rebranding. You don't need to change much. You can use what you have and carry that forward and grow a large business. The thing about branding is that it just has to appeal to your demographic, to your niche. So if you're just starting out, this is a great time to spend a lot of time on branding and really get that fine tuned. But if you've been in practice for a long time, branding should not be consuming any of your time. Take what you have and run with it and move towards marketing. If you're starting off, you got to do both. So starting off with a solid brand is great, but a brand means nothing if no one knows what it is. So colors and all these things don't matter until people know who you are. And sometimes a good brand or good colors or good clean logo or something unique can really stand out so that your marketing, so you can attract more people. But in our industry, it's really not necessary to spend too much time in branding. There's a lot of people out there wasting your time about branding. If you're looking for a rebrand, that's okay. Maybe it's just time to freshen up, or maybe you're moving. That's okay. But let's stop talking about that. It's really, how much do I spend? This has been a common question that's been going on last few weeks is, well, what do I spend? You said something about, $200 a week versus $1,200 a week. What's the difference between the two? So when you're in Facebook, you've got options on the types of ads that you create. And whether you work with an agency or not, or you do it yourself, when you get in there, what you'll do is set up either a traffic or a lead campaign from there. And then we have a couple different options when it goes from there. We have traffic, lead, and then conversions. Those are typically the three that we use. You're not selling e-commerce. You're not doing any of this other stuff on there. So the rules are, and this is straight from Meta. This is not from any digital agency or any blog that I read on YouTube. This is straight from Meta providers. I work directly with Meta. We do so much advertising, both in our clinic and with now all the clients I help. They're all in my ads manager. So the more people you help, the larger your ads manager, and the larger that is, the more Meta helps you because they consider you spending all that money. But really, I'm not. I'm helping all these other people, and they're spending money to do that. So and then they give me the answers. If you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. So my questions are always very intricate with them about the nuances of how this works. And you'll never hear a Meta Pro talk about algorithms. This is all just digital agencies and YouTube videos that talk about algorithms. They're like, that has nothing to do with it. Literally, you just need to be putting this versus this, and that's how you get responses for what you have. You just have to, they're very clean and simple when it comes to Meta. They're like, you have to have an appealing offer and answer a problem that solves people's issues. Like, you're a chiropractor, so you would talk about pain, and maybe you have like a free consult or a discounted exam. So you wonder where all these digital agencies get this from. It's because that's just simple marketing. It's the same thing as when you walk into Target and you see the sale rack, right? You just quickly go and look and see if something that you've seen a couple months ago is now on sale. And if it is, you're more likely to buy it than if it was at full price. It's simple psychological marketing that they use for brand and commodity, and then they separate that down to services. And unfortunately, services work different because now we're trading our time, not just a piece of clothing or a shoe or a sock. So I hope that makes sense. So Enrico, cut to the chase. What do I spend for this? A traffic campaign would be for something new. Let's say you're opening up a new office, you're in startup mode, or you're doing something new in your office. You brought in a new modality, or you got a new associate or a new massage therapist or something new in your office. You would post a traffic campaign for this. There's also boost campaigns, and I'll talk about that some other time. But traffic campaign is you go in there and you want to create traffic to your local community. So you pick a demographic, you'll pick a radius. Maybe it's going to be men and women between, let's say you got a new massage therapist, between 26 and 64, whatever it is, you pick that and you spread it depending on where you live, 10 miles around your office. If you're in a city, maybe you go out to 22 miles around in the rural area. You spread it all out there, and then you create the campaign, the ad, the pictures, the videos of the massage, and you put it out there with an offer. Get your first massage for, look at the industry average around your office. And if everyone's charging, $75 for a massage, maybe your first one's for $59 or $69 with this massage therapist, depending on what you pay them. You guys get the drift. Whatever that is, this is just an example for a new traffic campaign. It'd be for something new you got in the office. A new, like we said, modality, ultrasound, whatever you're doing in the office and you want to promote that would be a traffic ad. If you're trying to promote something that you already do to acquire new leads or new patients, then what we're looking at is a leads or conversion campaign. This is what all digital agencies that you hire will do for you, is they'll create a lead campaign or a conversion campaign, because the conversion campaign has to be funneled. So what it means is it has to go somewhere. You create the ad, you create the conversion campaign, you have the ad copy and the video and the pictures, whatever it is, and you create multiple ads under the ad sets. And what goes on from there is now you're taking those and you're sending them through a funnel. That's the conversion. The conversion will happen with a tracking code on the landing page, and depending what they do. So if someone clicks on your ad, automatically Facebook captures that data. They say somebody clicked on your ad. Then they put the pixel code onto the conversion page, wherever that is. That conversion page now has buttons on it. It says, would you like this offer? Click here. Give us your name, phone number, and email. They do that. They click it. And it may now you're following them to the next page. The next page might be book your appointment, or thank you for registering. Someone from our team is going to get back to you pretty soon. And then they can be put into an auto text drip or an auto email drip or both. And then the patient will get a few texts that maybe through there they can click a button or do something or book an appointment or directly call the office. Then the office or a call team follows up and they get this. The problem with digital agencies is that they all spend the same amount. How much? $1,000 a month. I don't know where they get this number from. Some of them are smartening up and they're doing like $1,400 a month. But what we learned from Meta is that doesn't work at all. A lead to a conversion campaign, you need to be spending $1,250 a week, $5,000 a month to get the total outburst of impressions to maximize lead conversion so that this ad can learn quickly. And once it learns, then what do you need? 250 responses. That means 250 clicks on the ad or 250 conversions on your conversion page. So for most of you listening, you're like, well, isn't that 250 potential new patients? Yes. Have any of you had 250 new patients in 1 month from a lead campaign? If you say yes, please call me directly. I have lots of questions for you. So that doesn't happen because one, your digital agencies will not ask you to pay $5,000 a month in ads. Do you know why? Because their fee is lower than that, $2,000, $3,000, maybe $4,000 a month. So they want the value to be on them and to bring you leads based on that. So that's really the reason why that happens. So you need to be spending $5,000 for a conversion. The other one in between, so we got traffic, leads, and conversion. I jumped to conversion on there for you because that is the one that is probably the most targeted and brings you probably the higher quality leads from there, because as your ad is pumping, it's catching people who are scroll stopping, it's called. So they scroll through Facebook or Instagram and then they stop on your ad because you did something. It's a cool video. It has something that grabs their attention. And then if they click on it, boom, they're automatically put into a lookalike audience, like an audience feature on your Facebook ad where they now track that person. They track that person like for a whole bunch of meta stuff too. So they're catching like their attributes, the other things that they like, their age. They're getting everything from them and catching how they act and why they clicked on a chiro ad. So then if they click on a dental ad or something like that later, then they put them all through this health field. And if they click on like clothes, so anyway, that's the algorithm stuff that Facebook doesn't talk about, because it's just automatic in the background and there is no control. So when a meta provider calls you, they're like, there's nothing to it. Like there's nothing that we can do or influence it. It's just the machine that's been created just doing its thing. They really think nothing of it. They have no conspiracies about it. They're all in the marketing department. They're all like, yeah, it's just how it works. We're tracking data and it goes into a pool. And now AI, they actually use AI. AI is just putting them through the most likely scenarios of what they'll buy moving forward. Pretty cool stuff. Then the leads in the middle are about $950 a month. So what's the difference between leads and conversions? Leads here is like, maybe now you're using an Instagram or a Facebook form, a form. So you're skipping, you're like, hey, I don't want landing pages. I don't want to send them to my website. They're getting lost. You've done the data. You've done the research in the past, like our website. Converting them through the contact us page has always been a bad strategy, like sending them straight to our website, contact us. We tried landing pages directly to our website as well. And because our website on Google's not really ranked very high, no chiropractors are, because you just don't get the volume. That I felt like that impacted it as well. So we created specific landing pages that were different URLs, or the Facebook form. The Facebook form has now been the best as of June 2024. So it's 2023, June 2023. It has been better conversion, and they did make some changes again in June. So that has been better. So how much do you spend on that? $950 a week. Now this is the US average for our industry and what we should be doing, healthcare. So it's about $950 a week. So was that $3,800 a month on leads generation? So you can see how, if we're truly going to spend the ad spend that works and use a digital agency, it gets expensive very quick. And to spend $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, the return has to be, I don't know about you guys, it's always 4-to-1 in any business. In any business on the face of the planet, any dollar in has to convert dollar out. And if it's 1-to-1, you're losing. If it's 1-to-2, if you're getting $2 that comes back in, you're losing. Why? Because that extra dollar was for your expenses to process that transaction. If it's 3-to-1, now you're like, okay, at least we're in the black. If it's 4-to-1, it is now marketable. Now it is a strategy to marketing. It works. If it's 5-to-1, you're like, man, we're going to keep going with this. 6-to-1, 7-to-1, 8-to-1, 10-to-1, home runs. Now we're just swinging at fast pitches up middle plate. Now it's just home runs. So, and you can get those and they can last a long time. They can last a while, and you want to create those. You want to try and get to that point. So you can. We have to be realistic about this. So that's where we're at. So you have to look at your case value average of what a patient's worth to your practice, and you do that through your numbers. You realize it. PVA versus cost visit average equals CVA. I mean, you just know what those numbers are. So if you have a 10 PVA, patients typically see you 10 times and they pay $65 per visit, they are worth $650 to you. So if you're spending $6,000 in advertising trying to get new patients, you don't want to get 10. You don't really want to get 20. You want to get about 30 from that $6,000. And can you? Yes, you can with that type of ad spend using leads. So Facebook works. Just have to know how to program it properly. Same thing with AI. How many of you are playing with AI right now? AI is absolutely fantastic. Don't hate it. But if you know how to use the prompts and actually communicate with AI, it will give you better responses. And that's where it becomes super valuable. Same thing with Facebook. If you know how to plug it in, you'll get better responses. And that's what we're going on there. So that's been the number one thing. Don't give up on Facebook ads, but I would stop doing what doesn't work. Stop. Pull the plug, stop the bleeding on this stuff, and go back to grassroots. Go back to our last 2 podcasts and go back to grassroots marketing so that you stop the bleeding. You improve referrals in the office. You are sitting on a gold mine with your patients. Your patients love you. They want to refer to you. They just don't know how. You think that's silly, but they just don't know how. They haven't been reminded on how to do that. We have people all the time like, I want to send my wife to you. I'm like, you've been holding your wife hostage from chiropractic? What's going on? Like, they're like, Yeah, no, she needs to come see you. You know, is it, then they have questions like, what's holding you back? And you're like, well, I paid 300 for my exam. Is it going to be 300 for hers? And you're like, right. Yeah. And they're like, oh, okay. I just didn't know. They were hesitant about it because they probably assumed that was the answer, but they didn't know. And then I remind them, hey, did you get a gift of health in the mail? They're like, oh, yeah, you gave me something when I first started. There you go. Use one of those. Go read it. I think I threw it out. I'm like, here's another one, half off an exam. They're like, oh, I'll get her in next week, right? Because that was their hesitant. But I'm not sitting there giving them a discount, right? So anyway, I'm getting off track. But referrals are there for you. We got all this stuff. Get more Google reviews. If you have 600 Google reviews, time to pivot. You don't need more. Now you need to just, and how do you know how many Google reviews are good? If you have 1,600 versus 600, is that better? Yeah. Does Google rank you higher? No. Did you know that? It's all about the average. So if you have a 4.8, 4.9, 5.0, that's what Google wants to see. Now, if you have only 5 reviews, that does affect you. There's a thing there where it exponentially goes up for your industry and your website activity. It's all based on activity and how many impressions you get per month. So Amazon gets millions of hits per day. They need so much activity on the back end for Google to rank them. And they always rank 99 out of 100. If you check your website, you probably rank 7, 9, 11. I think 14 was the highest I've seen a chiropractic office. That's it. Add the 100 scaling for visibility and traffic and activity versus the industry of the web, the entire web. So that's what's going on there. So yes, don't give up on Facebook marketing. Keep trying all the things that you do. And we're here for you. We're here for you. Join us on these podcasts are free. You can listen to them as you're working out. You can watch changing it up now. You can see different angles now. You can watch them here on the Facebook 101 group. You can watch them on YouTube, youtube.com/Enrico D Marketing. Watch us every Monday night live on Adjusting Success, a new YouTube live that I've created for you people. It's all for you, where you can come in live, ask questions from your practice, maybe your associates, whatever's going on. How do I get my associate busy? How do I get my CAs more involved? What else do we need to do for digital media? All these questions that are there, we can answer them live. We have all these resources for you. I'm also going to be on stage in Miami at Marketing Matters, talking about all this stuff, social media. So if you're down here, if you want to get to Miami in November, it's gorgeous here at that time of the year. Come to Marketing Matters. I'll leave a link here on YouTube and on the Facebook page. Come to that, not for me. Come see Rob Riggle. I think they got him on stage. You're going to be on stage with that guy. So pretty cool stuff that's happening there. And you learn tons of things. I'm probably like on the bottom of the list of all the speakers that are going to be there, but pretty cool, right? To be doing all this stuff and making a difference. And, access to me will probably get tougher as we move down the road. So I'm so lucky to have all of you here with me now. Keep in touch. We have tons of questions. I'm also on Coach's Corner. That's every first Monday of the month on a different channel. Join the Black Diamond Club for that. We have a free group and that. How many more resources can you have? They're free for you to do. And the number one thing before someone starts working with me as a coaching consultant is they say, I just don't know if I have the time to work with you. And then we figure it out. I'm like, do you have half an hour every week? And they're like, yeah, to talk to you. And then I become part of your team. I can send those emails directly to your CAs. I can send them to your front desk staff. I can send them to your associates. I can talk to your associates on the phone. You can divert your coaching to them. There's so many ways to use me. I'm a multi-tool Swiss Army knife when it comes to marketing and practice growth for your practice. So there's many ways there to use it. I'm here for you anytime. Check out the website. I'm everywhere. I don't even know where I am anymore. I'm just everywhere. Have a great week. To your success. Take care.